What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check updates, the latest news on Part 1, the physical infrastructure package that the Senate is in the process of passing right now. And then we'll be moving on to the next stimulus package, also known as the fourth stimulus package, which will be the largest stimulus package yet to date at $3.5 trillion. Yeah, the largest stimulus package ever. Yeah. We also cover on this show daily news, what you need to know about, what is going on in Washington, D.C., pretty much everything you need to know. So if you're new to the channel, or if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. And remember, the new videos come out here on our channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to hit the like button for us. We got a lot to cover. We're going to cover what is going on in the Senate floor today and several different pretty interesting things to cover. Let's actually just jump right in. Okay, number one, the IRS is sending out more $10,200 unemployment tax refund checks. Okay, these are not $10,200 checks for $10,200, but these checks they range from anywhere from a couple $100s to several $1,000s. This is for the third stimulus check package. This is a stimulus provision that makes $10,200 of unemployment income tax-free. Tax-free. These checks are still going out right now. In fact, this article is from a few days ago, but checks are still literally going out today, yesterday. They're going out right now. I have seen your comments down below in the comment section saying you actually got them here within the last few days. So yeah, there are actually still millions of people waiting for these unemployment tax refunds, this stimulus provision. This was from the third stimulus check package. They actually added this in at the very last moment. This is a good lesson because they do add in stimulus provisions at the very last moment. In fact, this particular stimulus provision was added in after the House of Representatives passed the bill. They sent it to the Senate, and the Senate amended the bill and added this in at the very last second. By the way, this article says there is kind of a way to track this. As you can see here, one way to know the status of your refund is if you have been issued is to wait for the letter that the IRS sends taxpayers whose returns are corrected. The IRS will kind of automatically correct your tax return for if you had unemployment income last year. These letters are sent out within 30 days of a correction being made and will tell you if you're getting a refund for this unemployment tax credit, or if the cash was used to pay off an outstanding debt. Note, if you owe the IRS money, they will use this tax credit for the money that you owe the IRS. Okay, that is an interesting thing to know. Sadly, you can't track the cash in a way you can track other tax refunds. An alternative way is to check your tax transcript if you have an online account with the IRS. Okay, so if you have an online account with the IRS, you can check your tax transcript. Please comment down below in the comments if you're still waiting on this or if you got your unemployment tax refund within the last week or so. They are still sending these out, and you really could receive it at any given date. So the IRS says they are still sending this out. Your refund could be anywhere from a few $100s to several $1,000s. This was a stimulus provision that was added in at the very last moment from the third stimulus check package. And as you can see here, this is all the different stimulus provisions that could be included in the next stimulus check package, the fourth stimulus package. Item number 21 here, they could do this again for this year. So they actually did this retroactively, even though it was passed in the third stimulus check package this year. They did it retroactively for last year. So they could make up to $10,200 of unemployment income tax-free this year as well. It's just literally one of 25 or more items that could be included in this stimulus package or even stimulus packages after this. The Democrats get more reconciliation cards to pass more stimulus packages after this. There will be more packages passed after this. On October 1st, they get more reconciliation cards, which basically means they can pass more packages in the Senate with only 50 votes, which is how they're going to pass this package, which means they don't need a single Republican vote to pass this package, which is exactly how they passed the third stimulus check package. So And the Democrats have already announced that this will be $3.5 trillion. It will be the largest stimulus package ever. So they don't need any Republican votes to pass this next package, which is exactly how they passed the third stimulus check package. So they don't need to negotiate with the Republicans or negotiate with Mitch McConnell. They're going to pass this package on their own as soon as part one is finished being passed in the Senate. We'll get to the latest details on that here in a moment. I also want to alert you to this interesting article I've seen, IRS refund status update. If you got a wrong amount or you were denied a stimulus check credit, you have rights. Remember what it felt like when your teacher marked something incorrect on your homework, but the correction itself turned out to be incorrect? Well, millions of American taxpayers feel like they're in that very situation right now. The IRS has issued some 5 million math error notices that neglected to inform people of their full legal rights. According to an update from the Tax Advocate Services this week, the letters sent as a result of corrections the IRS made to people's tax returns made no mention of a key detail that taxpayers only have 60 days to dispute the error in question. So this is going to affect 5 million people. So if this is you or somebody you know, pay attention. Omissions of this critical piece of information was beyond just bad customer service. It was a clear infringement of taxpayers' right to be informed and the right to a fair and just system. According to the TAS, the faulty letters were sent to taxpayers who claimed the recovery rebate credit on their 2020 tax returns. The credit allows people who didn't get their first or second stimulus checks or who didn't get the full amounts to claim them on your tax return. Remember, stimulus checks are really tax credits and receive them as part of a tax refund. This option has caused a lot of confusion and eligibility, which has resulted in a lot of legitimate math errors. But if you received a math error notice from the IRS, you still have a right to dispute it within 60 days. That's the key part there, 60 days. And request what is known as an automatic abatement, during which time the IRS must reassess its correction. That's why it's critical that people be made aware of this 60-day notice. The good news is the IRS is giving people who received one of these faulty letters more time. According to the TAS update, it will send supplemental notices to affected taxpayers and start the 60-day window over again with new notices. Okay, next up on part one, the physical infrastructure bill. Here is Republican Senator Rob Portman from Ohio, who is considered one of, if not the main leader from the Republican negotiator team here on the Senate floor with an update.
Senator from Ohio.
Madam President, I appreciate my colleague from Delaware. He is the chair of the committee that produced a lot of the work that went into this package. Roads, bridges, the highway bill, the surface transportation bill comes through his committee. He and Senator Capito from West Virginia worked together on a bipartisan basis. And my recollection is the underlying bill that we pick up in this broader bill that has to do with roads and bridges and so on passed with a vote of 22-0 out of this committee. And that's because they did good work in finding out where there was common ground. And frankly, you know, the American people deserve to have good roads and bridges and infrastructure to drive on, travel on. And so it's a big part of this bill, and I thank him for his work on that. We have now voted twice to proceed to this very important legislation to finally, after a lot of years of talking about it, make a major improvement to our nation's roads and bridges and railroads and ports and waterways, water infrastructure, electrical grids, our broadband networks, and more. It's overdue. And I'm delighted to say that twice now we have voted to proceed to final passage. One was a vote of 66-28. The other was a vote of 67-27. And frankly, there were a couple of people on our side of the aisle who were not able to come vote, one of whom has COVID. The others, in both cases, somebody had travel difficulties. So we would have had 2 more votes on our side that were positive votes as well. So this is a supermajority, And it's because the legislation makes sense for the states represented here in this chamber and for the American people. It will improve the lives of all Americans. I mean, it'll make life better. So the mom who's stuck commuting, who'd rather be spending time with her family every day, is going to have the ability through better transportation infrastructure to have fewer minutes and hours every day in gridlock. The truck driver who leaves the home, says goodbye to his family and goes on a long haul and thinks, am I going to be safe? We'll be safer thanks to this legislation. We had 2 trucks collide on a bridge in Ohio recently. It's not safe. There's no shoulder on the bridge anymore because the traffic is bearing twice the number of vehicles that it was designed for.
I'm from Ohio, and I think he sounds like a very reasonable man. You can let me know your thoughts. I do think that this physical infrastructure package is a very, very good thing for our country. Not only is it going to provide billions and billions and billions of dollars for every single state, roads, bridges, waterways, everything under the sun, but it's also going to provide hundreds of thousands, if not millions of jobs over the course of the next 8 to 10 years. And it's literally just going to improve, a lot of different things across our whole country, infrastructure. But then we can also move on to the next stimulus package, which, of course, this is a mainly stimulus focused YouTube channel. Of course, we cover other things, what's going on with our country, what's going on in Washington, D.C., a little bit of politics, of course, all that kind of stuff here. But then we get to move on to the next stimulus package. So really the passage of this package, part 1, really has a lot of things that is really, really good for our country. We get to move on to the next package, but this infrastructure package is going to be for the next 8 to 10 years. So there's a lot of good things with passing this package. So that kind of brings us to where we are, which is the Senate floor right here live. Here we are. There, you can see Republican Senator Kevin Cramer here from North Dakota. They're still there, live on the Senate floor, working here on Sunday evening. They've been working there Saturday evening, Sunday evening. They were there working last Saturday evening, last Sunday evening. They're working there 7 days a week. So they have not voted yet. It says waiting for a senator to speak, but obviously you can see he's speaking there. But they're still working. They're still working. We had one Republican senator that voted not to go the short route. They are going the long route. So they are still there working. You can see it. This is a live feed here, literally live here. It almost feels like I'm on the Senate floor there with them, but I'm not. But yeah, they're working on the Senate floor, literally trying to pass this. Honestly, they could pass this even after tonight, after I film this. So by tomorrow morning's video, this could be passed. And then, from what I understand, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Bernie Sanders, that next week they will go immediately into starting to pass the first parts of the part 2, the next stimulus package, the big one, the $3.5 trillion part 2, the American Families Plan, the next stimulus package. And this is where it's going to get really interesting to see what's in there, what they're going to include at the last minute. And we're going to see here what if the House makes changes, if they include more stimulus items at the last minute. And really kind of with the economy starting to get worse and new daily cases getting really, really bad. You can see some of these kind of headlines here. U.S. averaging over 100,000 new positive cases every single day. In fact, on Friday, we had a new high here, 168,000 new people tested positive on Friday. Yeah. You could see this graph right here, this curve. Remember, just a month or so ago, we were down to 4,000 new cases was the low on June 27th. Only 4,000 people for the entire country tested positive. Yeah, and then, we were averaging around 15,000 a day. It was really, really low. We thought that light was at the end of the tunnel. And then, yeah, this new Delta variant just hit, and it's just been skyrocketing. Now, yesterday was only 42,000. As you know, if you've been watching the show, the weekends are always underreported just because of the way reporting is. But every single day this week was over 100,000 new cases. Let's see here. July 30th, 122,000. Um, August 2nd, 136. August 3rd, 150,000. August 5th, 127,000 new cases. And August 6th, 168,000 people testing positive in just one day. Wow. Yikes. Yeah, and this has kind of prompted, Congress to really get on their horse. And we had, the White House this week kind of really scrambling to do everything they can. Of course, a lot of the new stimulus items are going to be in this next stimulus package, but they really kind of said, hey, we got to, now that these new cases, and this is going to really mean some new possible shutdowns, new mask mandates. We're seeing that now happen across the United States. And we have the new eviction moratorium extended until October 3rd. Yeah, 60 more days. And then we just had the student loan payment repause for 6 more months until January. And they're really trying to scramble to say, what new stimulus can we pass right now while we're waiting for this next stimulus package to pass? So they literally passed 2 kind of stimulus items that did affect over 50 million people. The new eviction moratorium that they passed for 60 days till October 3rd. That is going to help over 11 million renters. Of course, the landlord societies are already suing President Biden. So we'll see if that even holds for 60 days. Remember, the Supreme Court justice, or the Supreme Court, said that they really didn't have the authority to do that, but they kind of maybe found a loophole to do it. We'll see if it holds up in court. So that eviction moratorium is going to provide relief for over 11 million renters that are behind on rent and could potentially lose their homes. And then they have the now student loan payment pause, which is for over 40 million people. So those 2 things were literally just passed here within this last week, as the new virus cases are literally spiking for over 100,000 people. So literally within a week, they just passed new stimulus provisions for over 50 million people. So if these things continue to get worse, we're going to literally just see more stimulus provisions and see what they can do outside of the stimulus package. So remember, the majority of the stuff is going to have to be passed through Congress through a stimulus package, but you never know what they could do through a stimulus, through an executive order, I should say. We could see an executive order maybe happen this week as well. And honestly, if cases continue to stay at 100,000 every single day or even worse, I think that, I don't know, man. I think that we're going to just see more and more kind of regulations. And we're seeing headlines like this, that booster shots are going to likely be needed here coming soon. And then also vaccine mandates are following. Of course, if you've been watching the show, we do know that some vaccine mandates are being introduced in some areas of the country. New York City just made a vaccine mandate. If you want to go to any restaurants, you have to show proof that you've been vaccinated. Yeah. And these are real things that are happening right now, and we're starting to see more and more and more of it. The military is actually considering this as well. U.S. prepares to mandate the jab for all active duty military. About 750,000 members of the military have not been vaccinated yet. So again, yeah, that's why I like to show you these articles on the screen here, so you can see it directly on the screen here, so that this stuff is true. You can Google this stuff too and look it up as well. Don't feel free to research this stuff as for yourself too. But I literally have dozens and dozens and dozens of articles for this stuff, and with cases getting worse every single day, it's crazy out there. We thought that a month ago we were maybe out of this pandemic, or maybe could see the light, but now things are getting exponentially worse. And when I say exponentially, look at this curve. It is literally an exponential curve. And see this exponential curve? We're on the same type of exponential curve again. So it seems like the White House and Congress, they just did these 2 stimulus, emergency provisions for eviction moratorium and the student loan payment pause. And honestly, we could see some more this week as well. And also as they go to start passing the first parts of the next stimulus package as well this week. Once they finalize part one infrastructure, they're then going to also go and start passing part two, the next stimulus package this week as well. So don't miss any videos this week. Remember, new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This upcoming week is going to be a very, very big week, as they should be finishing part one and then immediately start passing part two. So I will keep you up to date with everything going on with stimulus, with our country, and in Washington, D.C. Make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. After subscribing, you can click the bell icon and put it to all notifications to get reminder notifications when we go live. You can also click the share button down below and share this video with your friends and family so that they know about the next stimulus package. We're going to find out about stimulus checks in there, child tax credit checks. Remember, those end at the end of this year. They want to extend that. So if you have any friends or family with children, they probably need to follow this as well to see if those child tax credit checks are going to extend. They're also saying there's going to be adult tax credit checks in this next package. And this next stimulus package is going to be the largest ever, around $3.5 trillion. Yeah. So you can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. Amazon has their own program where you can sell products on Amazon, and I teach people how to do that and replace their 9-to-5 income. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.